Go, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Your bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me. Niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
The stare down is intense, but leads to the monster duo teaming up with the shy Tokimitsu once he had arrived. With them being the first to head into the 3v3 stage, Ego explains how this selection works. Isagi looks to Rin, wondering where he had seen him before, but then it clicks in his mind. He's played with someone who looks very familiar to him, but it was a long time ago, so he doesn't speak on it as he doesn't remember the person's name. Tokimitsu will try to make conversation, stating that they should come up with a plan, but Isagi tells him to shut up. It's clear enough what this stage is for. It's to show off our individual talents and climb to the top. There's only one plan, and that's to score. So, if you shoot, make sure you don't miss. Ren looks to Isagi, saying that that's what he planned to tell him, causing the two to already have it out for each other. The next three that make it through the doors is Kira, Bachira, and Nagi. When seeing them, Isagi would smile, as he knows that they'll win, but he wonders what this team will do to stop him this time. The six then head to the field where Isagi has the ball under his feet. The game will begin and he rushes in, with Nagi and Kira both standing in his way, but to their shock, he sends it out and back to Rin. This was when he hit a curved shot into the net, scoring the first goal, which makes them realize that this team was actually on a completely different level than they had realized. They stood no chance at all, with Nagi being the only one to score a goal. Isagi had 3, while Rin would just have 2, as Rin notes that Isagi played just like his brother. It was annoying, but it makes him set goals in his mind. If he can work to defeat Isagi, then his brother should be next. Now, when picking someone to move on with them, Isagi decides to choose Nagi instead of Bachira or Kira. Come with me, Seishiro. I'll show you what it means to be a true striker. They would move on, but had to wait until Kira and Bachira returned with Baru and Shigiri now on their team. But until then, we would see Isagi and Nagi continuously going head to head in training. Time and time again, Nagi loses, with Isagi questioning why he was here in the first place. There was no reason for him to be here, with no ego at all, no motivation. He doesn't even want to be the best. Does he find all of this amusing? Is that why? Is this some sort of game to him? Because if that's the case, Isagi will be the one to send him home. Nagi wonders what he truly wants. He thinks about Ryo's own dream of becoming the duo to win a World Cup. But what Nagi wanted when he thought about it, of course it was to win a World Cup. But I think Nagi might discover an ideal towards his true ego, meaning that these one-on-one battles would get more intense by the days going on, which leads him to his new style of play that Isagi calls exciting. It was different from how he usually played. During their one-on-one battles, Nagi actually scores, shocking Isagi. So it seems like you do have a little fight left in you. But looking at you, there's no way for you to keep up. The two then turn, hearing the door, as this is when Kira walks in, challenging them once again, as Isagi smiles, saying he knew he'd be back. But it's over. With the final match now set in stone, the next day all 8 players return to the field, ready to go, as this would be the final match before this stage was almost complete. Kira shows off his spatial awareness that he had evolved to work offensively and defensively. Isagi now runs ahead with the ball, sending it right to Rin, who shoots, going for a signature Trivela shot, but as soon as it gets close to goal, Baru heads it back out, and then it begins flying through the air. Kira and Bachira both go for the ball, but Nagi traps it first, as he then spins around the two of them, getting open quickly, as his eyes were glowing. Baru was still in the defensive position, so he blocks the path, saying that he can't shoot through him, but Nagi flicks the ball, going around him, and it curves. right around Baru's head and into the net. With the first goal scored, it caused Kira to realize that anyone around Isagi has a chance to evolve to an even greater player than before. This must be the true style of play of Seishiro Nagi, the formless striker. A striker who can use trapping to manipulate the pace and flow of the match with his goals. Now knowing what they were getting into, the challengers begin to panic in a way. When they try their own attack, it's stopped by Tokimitsu and Nagi, as these two get the ball up to Isagi, who battles Rin and their defenders, going for the next goal. Isagi would smirk, saying that he knew stuff like this would happen, as it was in his predictions. As during the continuation of this match, Isagi is seen creating space, different dribble combos that lead to highlight plays, and even amazing goals against his defenders. I won't say that he scores every goal, but he scores 3, while Nagi and Ren both have their own. Now it was time to choose their final member before completing this selection. Isagi looks back at all 4 of them and actually chooses Baru. "Come serve me, you tyrant king." Baru stands up, saying that a king serves no one. Isagi then corrects him, saying that a king must submit to the one who gave him that power. The 5 monsters then move on into the next room, where we would see Ego congratulating them. Well, it seems that luck has been on your side so far. So let's see if that very same luck can go up against these world-class players. With the screen now changing, Isagi sees the real challenge that was right in front of him. So this is the true world of football. Something like this was unimaginable. But now seeing this is what he was seeking. True competition. With these 5 players now knowing what they were up against, Isagi immediately went to train. If he wanted to win against players like them, he needed to tap into that very same state again, triggering his own true awakening. But how could he do such a thing? He thinks back to the catalyst for Nagi and his own awakening, as well as Baru and his king mentality. But what did Isagi want? Of course he wanted to win a World Cup, but it was more than that. He wanted to be the very best. The number 1 in the world. He wanted every match of football he played to be orchestrated just how he wanted, how he imagined. So what type of catalyst would he need for that? What could take him to new heights by unleashing his own potential at will? These thoughts haunted his mind until he began to replay every moment of football that he's played in his life, where he felt like he was in a new state of play. His puzzle-like pieces in his mind then conform the complete puzzle that makes Yoichi Isagi a striker. As now in his mind, he can visualize a chessboard with him standing above it. And with this, he also sees each player on the field as puppets with strings attached to them, with him now as a puppeteer. That's it. There it is. While he thinks, Baru then enters the room, claiming that he'll be the one to play striker in their next match, and Isagi smiles, saying they can play a one-on-one battle for the position. The first goal wins. Isagi gives Baru possession of the ball, and then closed his eyes, activating this new form of METAVISON that had a unique pattern to it. Baru dribbles one way, but then Isagi shifts that way with his body, causing Baru to cross into a step over, heading in the opposite direction. Isagi then turns his body, cutting this off as well, shocking the king. Since when did he get so damn good at defense? Isagi then caused Baru to change his attack, doing cuts to get around, but Isagi backpedaled, keeping up with him. Baru then winds up his leg for a shot, but the ball is stolen before he could even release it, with our striker now heading in the opposite direction with Baru chasing after him. No, I can't lose. Not to him. Not again. Baru's own lion aura would appear, only to completely vanish when Isagi destroys him on the field. He drops the self-proclaimed king to the ground and scores the goal. Who knew that it was that easy all along? We then get to see a glimpse of Isagi's true aura, but I'll save that imagery for the World 5 match, which would happen the next day. With all 5 of them entering the room, they see their competition. As Isagi walks over, he only knows a little bit of English, and they only know a little bit of Japanese. He stated that the world of football was truly amazing, as he wanted to know what it was like. Could it actually be everything that he's imagined? Julian Loki was the one to answer this question, stating that it's all of that and more. Isagi was even more hyped with his aura slowly appearing. The match starts, and Isagi dribbles ahead with Loki guarding him, but he activates METAVISON, leading him one way and then crossing him another, leading to a pass to Rin. The prodigy takes a chance to score the first goal, stating that it doesn't matter who they are. He plans to defeat them. Luna then states that his brother was more impressive, but they resume the game, with Loki now having the ball. He then dribbles around, getting right in front of Baru and Nagi. Oh, is this good enough? He then bursted through them with Godspeed, but Isagi was there to cut off his shot. Pretty impressive, but still not enough. Isagi is then seen running out of the way, confusing Loki until he realized it was too late. Tokimitsu was next to him, shoving him off of the ball, making him miss the shot. The ball is in the air, where Luna tries to recover it, but Nagi traps it first. This one is mine, so stay out of the way. He uses his new playstyle to then dribble around and make his way up the field, going for a shot, but Silva was in the way, and he was the one to block it. While the ball was still in play, Isagi grabs it, smiling. He was wide open, on the side of the field, with a small shooting window. This was when we see it. As he winds up for a shot, the puppeteer flow of Yoichi Isagi is shown. With him smiling through METAVISON, he could see that everyone's strings were attached to him. They all led to him. Good. Now that I've got your attention, I'll make my declaration. The direct outburst slams into the net, leaving everyone starstruck, even Anri, who was watching with Ego, as Ego sits in silence, noting that this awakening was truly scary. The puppeteer of football, a player who can pull strings in any which way they choose, because they have that much of an impact on the field. Truly scary. Anri questions this, causing Ego to go more in depth. With this type of ability, one can simply take a step in one direction, completely changing the actions or thoughts of any player around them. He continues to go on about Isagi and his ability, but the match ends with their loss, with the score actually 4-5, with the World 5 just barely making it through due to a lucky goal. But Isagi was smiling as he tells Ego that he sees it now. Even the goddess of luck can't be controlled by his strings. Enri questions their loss, but Ego states that this awakened state or flow of Yoichi Isagi is not yet perfected. However, if he is able to perfect it, or at least master it to some degree, he will be able to control every player on the field at once. Isagi then walks off the field with his team, as now they have some time before they decide what's next, but they do have to learn the languages of other places, and Ego has a discussion with the other football officials, declaring the U20 match.